I think the small one works. Okay. As the team ventures forwards into the next stage of events, you manage to deal with security issues. Looking into and more or less getting the teams out of the way. You manage to divert everyone and then one by one call each other out. Figuring out some of the magical items that they have, and hopefully the background noise isn't too abrasive. You can determine that some people were carrying magical items, but that's not to be unexpected. After all, we are the security issues. After all, they are high-level people, and so are yourselves, so it's not unsurprising. But finding out that some of them were given by, well, the guy you don't like because, well, he's been more or less subterfusing, I suppose, would be the correct word, but not the proper term in the sentence.
He's not paying his fucking taxes.
That too. You managed to find out some people that had them. The gifts given to him by, him giving gifts to others. You found them in the hands of Carl, Vert, Colette, and one Verado, who currently Yoko has in her possession. Apparently some type of device that could be used as a very destructive incendiary device. With Colette, you found some ink substance. With Carl, he ate it. And Vert, he's wearing it, his armor set, that you had determined that it was explosive. Well, not explosive, that it was cursed. Telling him to more or less get out of that. You don't really know who you're dealing with, or somewhere along the lines of maybe you should take that off. It does seem to be cursed, and maybe the guy that you're following isn't exactly the best guy. He said pish posh, and then Yoko said, "What are you talking about? We even have this," which is the scarab beetle explosion thing. Immediately looking at it, you can tell that his more or less political stance of just temperance of emotion just quickly changes into one of keen insight and intellect. He goes for his blade, but as he goes for his blade, I want you all to go ahead and roll initiative.
My sheet is taking a long time to pop out.
No problem.
It'll get there when it gets there.
I did notice that Roll20 was having issues yesterday, so hopefully they also transfer to today. I'll roll one for Thane.
All right, Vert got a 0. He goes last.
I haven't rolled for them yet. Ba-ba-ba. Vert modifier, which would be 19, which still not the highest, because Thane got the highest, even though he's not here. Colette.
I think I have access to his character sheet.
As long as someone does. I think he wanted to, like, hold person.
Yeah.
Probably.
Okay, I'm pretty sure Alpani has a higher dexterity than Colette, so I'm just going to make her 14 instead. Wait, why is Vert at 20? That's not correct.
You probably had him selected when you rolled someone's initiative.
Yeah, that sounds correct.
There you go.
Was 12 for Thane?
No, it was 20 for Thane.
Oh, okay.
Or, what's
That
his
is correct.
actual
I just don't know why you...
23
Oh, okay.
would be his total.
Let's see here.
I was just putting it in there so that it would add him to the turn order.
Yep. Okay. Well, you did say you have. I don't know why you have Thane access, but sure, why not?
Because I put all his spells into his character sheet for him.
Checks out. All right. At the moment most, you can tell that he is aiming for this device in Yoko's hand. Honestly, he would have a surprise thing and probably have, advantage on his initiative, but let's say that doesn't happen. Thane, air quotes, Aster, go ahead and determine what you believe Thane would do.
It's either hold person or banishment. I know he wanted to do hold person, but I think he forgot that he has banishment.
Well, he's not here.
We're gonna go with banishment.
Okay, what can I save?
Charisma.
Okay. Unfortunately, he does have a charisma save. Which is why I was hoping it was wisdom. Has advantage on checks. Ew. Okay. Yeah.
That's probably high enough.
That is in fact high enough.
Okay. You cast your spell onto Vert, however, it just dissipates on his person. Momentarily not mentally there. Who knows? Maybe that's how the spell just wafts over him and does nothing. Bonus action movement.
Bonus action, we're going to quicken Mage Hand. And we're going to take the Mage Hand and snatch the amulet from Yoko. And see, he is 5, 10, 15. Take it 15 feet into the air.
That's like on the roof, but okay.
However high up it can go.
That's like the roof. Okay. Any movement yourself?
Bane probably wants to be here-ish.
That's fair. Okay. Vert taking his sword still is, there. However, the device is now in the air, so he's going to have to aim for that. I'm going to ask you this question, and feel free to argue. What do you have proficiency in throwing the blade? He has proficiency.
Usually that would be considered an improvised weapon attack, and you would only have proficiency in that if you take the Tavern Brawler feat.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think that's how it works if it isn't a thrown weapon.
Yeah, for sure. Okay. He has more than one attack, but this is for sure something he would do. Because I'm going to go with what I said the first time. He takes his sword and it draws out and immediately throws it at the thing. Since it's an improvised attack, it'll just be his dexterity bonus. That being the case, though, the AC would probably be 10. But I'm going to make it a little bit harder. Let's say 14 to hit. Because it's not extremely big.
If it doesn't have the thrown property, then it is thrown using strength.
Okay. Yoko is appalled by the...
Because improvised weapons don't have finesse.
Fair enough. The blade would have finesse, but I guess since it is improvised, it wouldn't. Then it's just +2. Yeah. That's unfortunate. Okay. Let me look at the radius of this thing.
Deck saves all around.
I think it's 20-foot radius, and I think that's everyone. Dex saves all around.
Well, it is 15 feet in the air.
Dex
suppose
saves
that-
all around. More than likely, you will not die from this, and I'll probably make it like 5th level fireball.
We
Isn't it
won't
an eight-
die.
Isn't it an
Just the
8th level
NPCs.
fireball? Don't pull the punches.
That's fair. Yeah, I'm gonna do what I did first. I'm not gonna talk myself out of this. I'm gonna be a little bit mean. Dex saves all around. Carl's probably gonna die.
People
And
within 10 feet of me have +4, and this is just like a fireball.
8th level fireball.
Then they also have advantage.
Cool.
So I
And you
have
said
a
10
cool
people?
sword.
10 feet?
10 feet.
Oops, no one but me can see that.
I can see it.
No one but me and you can see that.
I don't know why.
Because the toggle isn't on.
Oh.
So upon you have your bonus.
Doesn't matter either way.
I'm going to say Colette's like just shy out of the range.
That was Thane. Was the 19. So
Okay.
Thane has a 23.
Carl, Vert, Colette.
And I'm gonna be lucky. Um,
Don't you have advantage too?
oh, I do have advantage. I am me.
Even with the bonuses, Carl Vert would not pass. Who got below 18?
Everyone else.
Everyone else.
Mhm.
Okay. So it's just Thane who's not here, and Colette.
Well, half damage is probably still enough to kill her.
Natural 20. I'm gonna say she barely survives with a 1. A massive explosion just ricochets the area. Immediately, a thump is heard. Just blistering, burning fires ascend the area in a mass wave of flame. Almost immediately, everything is caught on fire, but not quite just yet. But, you know, things are catching ablaze. Vert and Carl rolled 4 and a 2, and even with the bonus of 4, would not pass.
So real fast, so I can put it out there. Me and Thane are gonna absorb elements.
Okay, how much do you absorb and from who?
And it only targets self unless I'm able to throw myself.
Oh wait, sorry,
in front
I'm
of Carl.
thinking of something else that another player of mine can do.
Oh, it's a 16 deck save?
No, I just used someone's character sheet. It would be 18 deck save.
Oh, bummer.
So for a total of 50, everyone just takes that unless you've rolled over 18. Well, 18 and up. Otherwise, you just take half. Carl is immediately set ablaze and dies. He did have 20 health. I did give him some, but, you know, dead. Vert Oso was just a politician, but, you know, gave him some health. I'm going to say she survives, but is currently prone down on the ground, motionlessly breathing, if anything at all. Stable, but just barely on the ground, ready to die, apparently. That is Vert's turn. And unfortunately, that is Vert's turn, and he dies. What a weird combat. However, we are not done. Nope. Let's see. What song was it? Was it this one? Nope. That'll work. Immediately, the fireball just explodes in the area. A good amount of parchments, papers, and things of that nature have been caught in the incendiary blast. You can tell that two political individuals have just been killed off. Those that know the truth are either unconscious or straight up dead. What do you guys do? You can tell that two guards are like stationed outside of the room and immediately knock on the door. Is everything all right, Your Majesty? And Yoko and Alpani, you both can tell that something in the window, roughly right across the street, is peering at you guys, hooded up on top of another building. Thane looks through the telescope and the person waves.
All right, well, this has to be done fast, so I'm just going to do it. I'm going to cast Revivify on Carl and on Vert.
Okay. It's been less than a minute, so yeah, for sure.
I mean, I can get one if you want.
Yeah, get Vert.
So I'll get Vert.
All right.
And I'll give Colette, who is unconscious, healing hands. Lay on hands.
Yeah. Without too much issue, you heal her back up, and she's the only one in this current squad to be conscious. Vert and Carl are alive, but not conscious just yet. Because I made this mention beforehand, but apparently if you stabilize or resurrect someone, they don't technically regain consciousness. It's just a thing people do. But I'm going to say PCs still regain consciousness because it's kind of dumb if they don't. But they're currently down, but stabilized and alive, thankfully. Colette, with just being unconscious, is woken up by the healing factor. She immediately gasps for air and looks towards all of you. What's going on? She like snatches the thing that Yoko took from her and like picking herself up.
Councilmember Emerald has attempted assassination. Governor Emerald has attempted assassination on all present.
She like brushes herself off, and she does state, "It's more than hasty, but if it is true, then we must examine the information at hand. But from what I can tell, your friend here," looks towards Yoko, "had an attempt in this as well. No matter, we'll investigate this further."
Yoko was a unwilling participant. Unknowing, I should say.
Well,
no one could have known that.
Because you're telling me this is someone that almost died. She's like upright mad.
I'm gonna add a D8.
She's like upright mad, looking for people to potentially blame, and Yoko was part of this, even though she was unwilling. That is pretty good. And yeah, that does it. Well, then I suggest you choose better security in here. No matter.
Could not have been known.
Apparently, we are also. I'm just kidding.
No, I'm saying
for
like,
sure
it could
could
not have been
potentially.
known that showing the amulet would have triggered the armor.
Yeah, I just didn't think you guys would show anyone, the bomb. That's on me, though.
We are apparently being watched. Guards, you can come in.
They immediately head inside, and everyone can go ahead and roll a perception check. Because it's been, for sure, enough time. One for the guard, other for the guard. Okay. That something could have happened.
Is there anything left of Vert's sword?
It's like, no, well, yes. It's like broken and tattered, but it's still there. Like the explosion more or less chipped it heavily. By the way it looks, it kind of looks like a rapier, but it's a little bit thicker than it should be. Thane was a 16. Okay. Looking around, you both can. Of course, it's the two people with massive perception checks. Looking around, you can tell that there's fire everywhere, but easily enough, you can, take care of that as it hasn't fully caught on. And thankfully enough, this room is made out of, stone. So it wouldn't be an issue unless it truly caught on. That being the case, though, you both can determine that that one person that was waving towards you jumped down and is, like, mingling into the rest of the crowd around and up about the city. Thanks to the whole politicianal thing, there are a lot of people in there. But for now, you can for sure see them.
How far are they?
Right now, roughly 50 feet away.
Okay. I'm going to go to the window and cast a little spell.
Okay.
Wait, this one might be better. Yep.
What a weird way of saving. You cast banishment. I like how you keep using banishment. Onto this individual you do not know. Plus modifier. I probably should. You know what? I'll roll again since he did save, but I technically didn't show you that he did save.
I mean, it was either that or polymorph.
No, I get that. I just didn't include his modifier, so I could be lying that he has a +3 modifier. Okay, he fails that time. Immediately, you look towards this individual and outright banish him to who knows where. They're gone now. Hi, Star.
Hey, sir. Alpani will look back at Aster. Whoever that was, I've caught them in a banishment spell. We need to get to where they were banished. In the spot they were banished.
Timeout so that we can fill Star in.
We went down.
Yeah, it did not manage to stop the dude.
A spell was cast to try to stop Vert, but unfortunately he didn't make the save. Soon enough, a spell was cast to grab onto the scarab and shoot it up onto the roof. He threw his blade and rolled very high, surprisingly, and immediately it blew up, killing Vert and Carl in the process. Colette somehow got a natural 20 and survived, but soon enough they were both revivified thanks to Alpani and Aster. Thane did notice that there was someone on the roof on the other side, waving. The cards immediately came in, like asking, like, is everything all right? They were allowed in, and you took care of Carl and Vert's revivification. You then both, Yoko and Alpani, did notice that the guy disappeared and entered into the crowd. Soon after, Alpani cast banishment on the individual, and they're currently MIA for now.
I'll take Alpani's hand and cast Dimension Door down to where I last saw the guy.
Yeah, for sure. Natural 20, you can easily determine where it is. Like, someone disappearing in the middle of the crowd is weird, so, like, people do wave around that area, like, what the heck? What's going on? And you two just appear out of nowhere.
I'll grab... okay, so, where are we at?
You and Aster are so in the room with Vert, Carl, Colette, and the guards. Yoko and Alpani are down in the street to try and apprehend this person that they saw.
Before me and Thane leave, I'll tell to the guards, take the 3 council members here to go get medical attention. Tie down Council Member Vert and try to get his armor off of him. None of the governors leave until I get back.
Right away, sir.
Make sure they use magic to get the armor off.
nod, and they take them away.
And then I grab Esther and we go.
Okay.
Someone put the room out.
Do what?
The room is still on fire.
I'm assuming the guards are gonna take note of that and come back.
Yeah, I mean, there's more than just two guards in the whole castle. They can grab other two.
They would have told other guards, to take care of the fire.
Sometimes guards are stupid.
Well, no. This is on you. You guys forgot about the fire. Don't blame the guards for your incompetence.
Oh yeah, I'd be like, oh yeah, take care of the fire, and then we go.
Now, too late. You guys already left.
Please, I can teleport right back and be like, here.
No, I'm going to be mean. I'm going to say it's the guards' duty to save the day. It had nothing to do with you guys. It'll happen. It's just not your responsibility.
I was stretching, sorry.
No, I get it. I'm just saying that for sure the castle won't go up in flame, but it's not your responsibility that happened. It's a noble knight's hero's will.
Want a funny story? I woke up at 6:30. Was getting ready to sit down at the computer. It's like, I'm gonna lay down for like maybe 5 more minutes. I lay down, and the next thing I know, I wake up just now, and I look at my phone. I'm like, oh, yeah, how about that?
Checks out. Okay. You bamf straight into the street again. People are surprised that you just teleported into some place, other people just disappeared from. But soon realizing it's the king, they give a wide berth. Now tell me, did you guys teleport into the exact spot you saw him leave, or the spot next to it?
No, I would teleport next to it.
That's fine. It's just your exact wordings was, I'll teleport to the spot that I saw him disappear from. I just wanted to make sure.
Okay.
Okay. You teleport in without too much of an issue. And soon after, your comrades do as well. Soon enough, however, the person does re-emerge, I think a minute later.
Mm-hmm.
If they're natural to our plane, yes, they re.
You said right next to it, so right there. This individual garbed up. He technically wouldn't have a mask, but I only have so many tokens. But it would be shrouded in shadow. Looks towards all of you. Surprised that this happened, but also not surprised. We're gonna go ahead and roll initiative again. Stop just trying to do things, guys.
Well, I mean, he reappears and I immediately hold person. I mean, how's...
If he got banished, for sure he'd be, actively aware that things are happening.
Yeah, but we'd have time to prepare stuff.
So does he.
Yeah, and I could go right as he appears.
And so could he, which is why we're rolling initiative.
Yeah, okay. Then, no, never mind.
Damn, where was this initiative earlier?
Who knows? Alright, thankfully it's only one guy this time, so whatever he gets, he gets. 17 plus initiative modifier, which is 4. 21.
He's first.
Okay.
That's not how held actions work, but okay.
He's not holding his action, he just goes first.
No, I was... okay, so you're saying he appeared right as me and Aster teleported in?
Sure. More or less, he was ready, when he teleported back in. If he was banished somewhere... Fun fell. Give me a second.
I know. Okay.
Don't even know why it fell. It just fell. But anyways...
Haunted.
For sure, if he was gone for a minute, he would, more or less guess. Alright, clearly something magical. More than likely going to be attacked. Ready and willing, so basically his initiative.
Yeah,
he just a little bit faster than everyone, I guess.
But if I'm holding an action to go cast a spell as soon as he appears,
then as soon as he appeared, he could have held an action to do whatever he intends to do.
Okay.
That's why we roll initiative. so these things don't happen. Like, for sure, if he was, I don't know, tied up or unconscious, you for sure can do this. But he was just banished. Okay. Reappears out of nowhere. You guys get ready to attack, but unfortunately, he's just a little bit faster. He takes out a blade that almost looks pearlescent, but not quite. It looks a lot more ivory than anything else. He then goes not towards you, but hits the ground, and the blade itself does not, is not stopped by the ground itself. First action, he pierces through. Second attack, he slices.
Can I try and counterspell that?
It's not a spell. First attack, he slices through. Second attack, he makes a hole underneath him. And then he does move of his own behest, so 5 feet. Yoko, Thane, and Alpani get an opportunity attack as he just falls down into the sewer system, potentially.
I don't have a melee weapon, so I can't do anything.
You can
Goodbye.
slap him.
No, I can't. Goodbye.
Okay, well, I'll use my Warcaster feat to cast Hold Monster on him.
Yeah, with your Warcaster feat, you can definitely use a spell. What kind of save? I think it's Wisdom, right?
There it is.
Okay, +4 to Wisdom. 22. Okay, you cast a spell, but he then looks towards you, and this weird, ominous presence just makes you flinch. Alpani, you can try to swing at him if you want. Does not hit, unfortunately. You take your scimitar and aim straight towards him, but you just barely miss by a few inches. Thane, are you sure you don't want to try to hit this guy?
I'm good. I mean, I can't do anything. I don't have melee attacks. Dogma.
Okay.
I don't have Warcaster.
He falls
can't
15
cast
feet,
spells.
taking 2d6 damage. Rolled low. Movement speed, he then moves 30 feet away. Bonus action, he technically can mad dash, but yeah, why not? I said it was going to be a little bit mean today. He mad dashes further in for another 30 feet. Aster.
Can I?
Okay, so hold on. How did it? Is that an ability? Okay, never mind.
It is a bonus action thing you can do.
Can I follow through that hole?
Oh yeah, for sure. He made it, manhole sized.
Yeah, I'm gonna jump down.
Okay, you jump down, taking a fall damage. 2d6. Oh, I rolled high for you. Hitting the ground, he is now 60 feet away from you. It is slightly obscured, but right now, since you're pretty close to the manhole area, it's like low light vision.
Leave.
Falling down also doesn't eat up your speed. You're just falling.
Alright, well, this is gonna have to work. I am going to close the distance 30 feet,
All right, he's now 30 feet away from you.
and I am going to throw a hand axe at him.
Okay. For sure, that's within range of hand axe.
Just barely. And I am gonna feel lucky.
21 does hit.
And I am going to attach the proning strike to it.
Oh, to knock him prone.
to knock him prone.
Yeah, what can I save?
Strength, and he takes an additional 2 damage.
Okay. Curse you when choosing his weakest roll. He gets a +2 still, but that's only a +2. Number to beat?
30.
Yeah, actually 30. No.
Probably like 18 or something.
It is 16.
That was pretty close. And what? Yeah, that was an 11. You knock his feet and causing him to fall, accidentally falling onto the blade, taking the damage of 9. Now prone. And with sewer water on him now. Aster, anything else?
I wasn't expecting to get this far. Yeah, I will now throw another hand axe at disadvantage.
Yep.
Get fucked.
Yeah, it still hits. Okay. Since it's disadvantage, we'll take your 9 instead of your 11.
That's fair.
So for another 9 damage, he just gets cut in. You can tell he's bleeding, but, not bloodied. But he's taking damage. He's not some weird automaton dude. He's just very skilled at what he does. I think you have a bonus action left.
I do. I'm gonna throw another axe. Yeah, fuck it. Axes for everyone.
If you have enough. Yeah, you take your hand axe and you quick toss directly towards them. Since they're still prone and it's a long range thing, unfortunately it's still disadvantage. But you've done it before. You'll do it again. Maybe not. It swings in towards him, but unfortunately he just uses his boot to kick it in the air, and it just lands to the wall beside him.
Oh fuck, I'm a fucking idiot. I'm gonna action surge and dash and move next to him.
Okay, we take that back. You don't throw your axe. Action dash, and you're right next to him.
Yeah, I'm gonna grab him instead of throwing that axe.
Okay. They will use acrobatics.
$30, actually, for real.
Don't think they can beat that. They need a natural 20.
Can they even beat it with a natural 20?
That's what I'm saying. They need to beat it with a natural 20. Only way
that's
this is
what-
happening.
Oh, so he has... No, he wouldn't. He still wouldn't beat it with a natural 20.
Natural 20, say, succeeds.
That's only on
That's
attacks,
only
isn't it?
attacks and
Natural
saving
20, I
throws.
say, succeeds. He wasn't going to succeed anyway, so it doesn't matter.
And he
Yes.
is considered restrained, and that is my turn.
Okay, Yoko. The king and this one dude went into the sewer. What do you do?
I'm gonna jump down after him.
Okay, you take... unless you have slow fall, then you take the damage.
I do.
You take no damage.
So unless it's 35 or higher,
Somehow, the sewer is very, very deep now. No, you're fine.
and
They're 60
I'm
feet away
gonna
from
move.
you. He's currently prone and restrained by Aster.
I'm gonna move 40 feet closer, then use a key point to step of the wind and dash as a bonus action.
You're like right next to the guy, or further, depending on what you want to do.
Yeah, I'm just gonna go past them on the opposite side of Aster.
Right next to the dude. While he's currently struggling against Aster, he doesn't notice you. Well, he probably does, but, can't do anything.
And I'll try and kick him in the head.
Okay, you use your unarmed strike to just kick him in the head. Prone, so advantage, and he's restrained, so still advantage, but, restrained. 23 hits. With
And
your
I'll-
electric boot, you just knock him in the head for 16 points of damage. He, again, looks hurt, but not quite dead just yet.
And I'm gonna try and use a stunning strike on him.
Okay, I believe that is a con save. His con is pretty good, but he still needs to roll a 10 or above. That is a 1. Now also paralyzed until the start of your next turn, I believe.
Yep.
Okay.
I thought it was the end of your turn.
Start, and it doesn't matter. He gets no turn. But
And
sure,
that'll
I'm
be
pretty
it for me.
All right. Thane, people are in the sewers now. You can like look down, and if you have dark vision, you can tell like they've got this, unless you don't.
My Aster, do you want me to turn him into something small, easy carry?
Oh my gosh, I'm so dumb. It's not important. I'm just gonna tell you what I messed up on doing. Go ahead.
Sorry, repeat that?
You hear in your head, I'm asking, do you want me to make him small and portable and easy to get back to the castle?
No, him being unconscious would do that.
I can only kill him.
Then please do not.
I'm not gonna do anything.
Okay.
I'm gonna hold a hold person spell in case he gets free from Aster.
Do you have dark
I'm
vision?
done. I have superior dark vision.
Cool.
I can see through magical darkness.
You just hang your head in the sewer. It smells a little bit. It smells a lot. Keeping an eye on him just in case he does anything funny. Alpani, what do you do?
How far down do I need to drop before I hit the dim light?
15 feet. Like, once you enter the sewer, it is dim light. Or low light vision.
Okay, well, I'll just get ready to hop in, but I'm not going to take any damage.
Step of the night. You can draw on the mystical powers, blah, 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 blah. Air. Bonus action. You are dim light, darkness. You can magically give yourself a flying speed equal to your walking speed. Yeah. You just jump in and, like, move in the air, gliding.
So,
You're now, like, 30 feet away from him.
well, then I'll, I guess, go right up next to them, flying above them.
I believe
ahead.
flying speed is equal to your walking speed, so you would still be
I
30
have a
feet away.
35. Oh, you said that I was 30 feet away from him.
Yeah, if you use your full movement and your flying speed, that would be 30 feet. And then he's a full 60.
Oh, then I'd only be 25 feet away. So you're still wrong.
Okay,
The speed of 35.
you're like right near him.
All right. Yeah, we'll do this. I'm gonna hold my action after that.
Uh-huh.
Ready, tidal wave. Past Yoko. So if he tries to get past her, the moment he does, that tidal wave's gonna smash into him.
Okay, sorry, what was that again?
Tidal wave up past Yoko is where it would be targeted.
Okay.
So if he does somehow get past them, it's gonna, as soon as he gets past Yoko, it's gonna hit him.
For sure. All right. Holding your action for that varied state. His turn, can't do anything. Paralyzed. Aster. This man you currently have in a chokehold. Flailing. He would be flailing if, you know, he just didn't get hit in the head so hard. It stunned him for a round.
Yes, we will be doing the Night Night song. goes like this: go to sleep, go to sleep, go to sleep,
Hits,
go to sleep.
and hits. 16, 28,
Go to sleep, go
30.
to sleep, go to sleep, go to sleep.
33, 39, 41, 43, 49, and 56. Go to sleep, go to sleep, go to sleep. So many times that he is almost asleep. Question for all of you. If you're stunned, can you do the effects that could
You
minimize
can't
damage?
do anything.
Nope.
That's what I thought.
You can't do anything.
Still, I assume that was the case. Just wanted to make sure. This man is almost unconscious, but just barely alive and kicking. But barely is the proper word.
That's my turn.
Okay. I'm pretty sure Yoko can take them down.
Speaking of kicking,
Might want to tell her not to murder the man.
I wasn't planning on it. I was gonna just help Aster finish putting this guy to sleep. Temporarily.
Concerning. Okay. Advantage because paralyzed, and advantage because restrained. 25 does hit, and with the HP of 8, I'm pretty sure you don't need to hit anymore, unless you just want to.
No. He hasn't done that much to anger us.
He hasn't done anything. He's just watching you guys.
He waved at us.
He waved at you. How dare he? You just knock him in the head with a roundhouse kick, causing him to just go limp in Aster's arms. It's almost adorable if it wasn't so violent.
Hey, I only hit him twice. Aster hit him like half a dozen times.
As in a group whole kind of assault thing, not just you. Yeah.
Well, I'm gonna help myself to his sword.
Okay. You pick it up from the water, because he did just drop it in the water, but it's not so deep you can't get it. Do you have prestidigitation to, clean your hands and the poopy water?
Oh yeah.
Okay. Yeah. You pick
And
it
I'll
up.
take the scabbard for it too.
There is no scabbard.
What a monster.
Putting it on, looking for it on his person. You can tell he carries a satchel, but no scabbard where it should be. You don't see one on the arm. You don't see one on the leg, near the thigh, near the waist. There is no scabbard, which is weird. You do see, however, that there is a whole bunch of knotted rope right near where his upper arm would be. More than likely, he was using that to hold it on his person.
What a savage.
Getting rid of turn order. Okay. The team manages to knock this guy out, restrain him. Soon enough, Thane and Alpani do make it into the sewers, unless they don't want to. Alpani, you're already inside, but you make it next to the guy.
I'm not going.
What do you guys do?
I'm gonna unmask him and tie him up.
Okay. You tie him up and unmask him. Maybe not in that order specifically, but you do unmask him.
Old man Jenkins from the gas station.
Thank you.
Okay.
No, it's gonna be fucking Jerry.
Nah, it's not Jerry, but it is someone you would expect. Not because you've met them, but because you know me.
Yo, I finally get to use the part of the character sheet that I've had on here.
The one for dealing with horny tieflings.
Yeah, horny women count raises by 1. We're at 4. It's been a while.
It has.
I have horny man count as 2. I don't think I've missed any.
Hang on, give me a second. Unconscious. I'm gonna say paralyzers removed. They're not moving. I
Also,
just
it's
need to
only stunned.
what? Potatoes.
No,
Stunned.
paralyzed is much worse.
Yeah. They were stunned, but no longer after being unconscious. Their muscles aren't tensed up so much that they can't move. But now restrained, you see that there is a tiefling woman with very pale skin. Looking at their eyes, they're unconscious, but very golden irises. The cloak they have on themselves seems to be that of a rogue-like individual. They carry on them the satchel, as mentioned beforehand, the rope, and the very, very sharp blade. Inside the satchel, you do find a missive that is currently tied up and with an emblem of 2 golden wings. You also see 2 health potions, 75 copper, 13 gold, and 28 silver.
Would I recognize this crest?
You would. It's not that hard to discern, but at the exact same time, you haven't really been paying attention to religion in one way or the other. You know that this is the Order of Light that the former person that you guys murdered was running. But it hasn't been something that's been happening all that out in the open ever since, you took over the kingdom. The last time you dealt with this emblem is when you guys visited the House of Light, which was when you guys murdered that one dude on the council, if you remember him.
I'm gonna be honest, we've murdered so many people, I've just kind of lost track of them all.
Their name is Zahn. Hang on, I'm just gonna show you the token. They look like this. He was part of the council that was an Aasimar. He led the religious factor of the kingdom itself, but after Aster took over, you haven't really heard much about them.
Oh, I got his sword.
You got a sword.
Okay, can I just ask, and this is a smart-ass question, I know the answer, whose sword don't you have that we've killed so far?
The drow in that place Aster broke down.
You stole so many swords there too.
I wasn't able to, because the house came down.
Yoko tried, but house breaking apart is house breaking apart.
Okay,
That-
now I know why I didn't remember Zahn, because it was from session 12 that we last saw him.
Yeah, it was a while ago. But you can tell that this is an emblem from the higher-ups in the House of Light. The religious factor, formerly the highest religious factor in the kingdom. But yeah, this person is unconscious. You have their gear, their money. You bring him to the castle. Bring him in that room that's currently being doused out from the fire.
Yes, and I will be right back. I really have to be. I'm sorry.
No problem.
Should we take a small break?
Yeah, sure. We'll take a 5-minute break. Unmuting now. Okay. You manage to get back to the castle, and you can tell that once you arrive and like not directly go towards the hall where the let's call them for now political prisoners are currently making up uproar. You can tell that from time to time guards are like going towards the room that is currently on fire. Soon enough, they do cause that to not be on fire anymore. One of the guards will be getting a medal for remembering. But soon enough, it is cleared, cleaned, and thematically, anything flammable in that room is now removed. Other than a chair that you've tied this person on, because I feel like you guys would do that. But you enter inside and like rope up this person on the chair, including just roping up their hands in turn. Do you take their gear off? Like the cloak, the weapons, the satchel bag?
No, we're just going to leave them armed to the teeth. Yes, we're going to take their gear off.
Okay. The only other weapons they had was a short sword and another dagger, but it's a standard dagger.
Oh, I'll take the short sword.
It's also a standard short sword. But it is a short sword. It is very blindingly silverly white. It's a short sword with silver inlaid metal. Maybe you can use it to hunt vampires. Who's to know? Who can say? However, unconscious and bound, what do you guys do next? You can tell that a soldier does come in and does state, Sir, right now we have them currently held in the room, but we must act fast in order to get these things involved. Well, solved as soon as possible.
Yes. Have this one taken to the dungeon and guarded. We may have need of questioning her later.
Very well, sir. Guard comes in.
Really not sure how she works into all of this quite yet.
By the way it looks, you can tell that this guard is passively looking at you guys, maybe warily. It's kind of hard to tell. It's also just a weird thing. It just happened. Like, they take the chair and the person and, like, move them out. Right now, the castle is in a commotion, but soon enough, two guards take up their place by the doorway. They look towards you, nod, and one of them does state, right now, it does seem like the fire and everything else is extinguished. We have the politicians currently corralled, but so far, it doesn't seem to be as clean as possible. If you'd like, we can bring someone in to perhaps one by one continue the questioning, but otherwise, we need to act fast.
No, I do not think there will be any more questioning. I think what is in need is a trial.
Very well then, sir.
I'm going to look to my party. We've a little bit of politics to balance out our excitement just now. Do you care to join me? I feel like the higher knights, like it's like an honorable thing. Get like a face mask.
What? Oh, have his guard soldiers knights wear a face concealing helmets. Yeah, probably.
Anyway, I think it's probably better that I don't.
Well, having you as a witness would be most appreciated, and I will not stay your blade should an execution be needed.
I mean,
Well, what are you planning on doing?
Bringing to light the accusations we have and the evidence we have towards Lord Emerald, levying for his death, and then holding a trial for myself.
I suppose I'll go. No, sounds incredibly boring.
Good guard, if you would escort us to the hall of the governors and council members.
Very well, sir. Soon enough, you are brought into the current waiting room.
as we're walking there, just in case, Apani's going to cast a spell on herself.
Tongues. The spell grants the creature you touch the ability to understand any spoken language it hears. Moreover, the target speaks. Any creature that knows at least one language and can hear the target understands what it says. Okay. Along the way, you can cast that spell. That's perfectly fine. The guards do state, right now we do have them in the waiting room, in the ballroom, to be precise.
That will have to work. I do not wish to delay or give chance to have anyone escape.
Let's see here. That would be his guard, her guard, and then everyone else is like everyone else's guard. You guys enter into the room, more or less flanking everyone. Thane potentially waits by the door. I'm not sure if they're back yet. But Asher, you go into the room and you can... Oh, okay. You go into the room and you can tell that a lot of people are in an uproar here or there. Emerald seems to be fine enough, just speaking with Karn and Amula. Delian and Northman are more or less talking politics at the exact same time, questioning what exactly is going on. What exactly was that explosion? What did they hear? The Dwarven man that you know quite well, and Verado, are more or less questioning the guards, what's going on out there? Do you need our help? Getting his blades to get ready for a fight, and the guards are no, everything's in the control. Something is currently going on, but obviously the king will explain as soon as they arrive. Soon enough, you go around everyone and stand at not at attention, but you stand front and center while everyone else looks towards you.
Everyone, please be seated. Though this is an improper venue, it must suffice for now. I had met to discuss much more boring things like taxation policies and trade routes. Sure, you're all well aware of the type of things that we would be discussing in these meetings, but it has come to my attention that instead, first, before we can get to such niceties, we must first hold court.
Delian does look towards you. Meaning, did you find something with my sent advisor?
No.
And then the Dwarven man and Emerald also state, and mine?
No. I accuse Lord Emerald of treason, attempted assassination of King council member and advisor, attempted possession, and I suspect him consorting with beings of lower planes as well.
Delian looks towards Emerald and more or less states it towards you, but still looking at Emerald. Bold accusations. I presume there is evidence to this.
There is. Namely, the remnants of a medallion that was set to explode on one of the council members who can vouch for what it was.
That evidence is gone, but I'm sure you have people that can vouch for you.
We have council member Dean, who I'm sure that a thorough search of his belongings will reveal the box in which a number of laced chocolates was sent to him that was due to possess him. And finally, Governor Emerald Vert's own council member, Vert, his armor will be inspected. That will surely show the evidence that I speak of. In addition, I also have Colette as a witness to these proceedings.
Don't forget about in his head here. Don't forget about the whole stuff that happened in Fort Harbor. The gifts from Emerald to them being
as well as a number of witnesses already among the crowd that I'm sure will vouch for their dealings with Lord Emerald.
Delian then states, so, anything you would like to add, Emerald? Does seem like the deck is stacked against you. And Thane, again, I ask, who? The group or just that dude?
Emerald.
Okay. For a while, you can tell that he is looking towards Aster and then looking towards the group. Not as if he is, like, getting ready to attack. More like, huh. So this is how he does things. Very, very interesting. And then when he, like, goes into the detail of evidence, you can tell that, although he's not saying it out loud, he is subtle casting inside his own mind. You don't know the spell, but you can tell he is, like, getting ready.
As soon as about to cast the spell, Aster. The moment he goes to cast
and on
it,
what grounds? Oh wait, are you saying that in Aster's head or at him? Okay.
You should know this by now that me having the ability to talk most of the time, I'm going to say, when I speak, it's in their people's head unless I say, I don't say it in their head.
That is gonna get confusing.
I mean, that's how I've been playing Thane this whole time, so shouldn't be hard.
Sure. Okay. Aster, you hear that in your head?
Wait, what am I hearing in my head? Are you guys kind of...
That Emerald is subtly casting a spell, and I told him I'd go and counter it as soon as he tries to activate it.
Man seems to be just swirling line, but you know Thane, like, reads minds, even though that's generally a thing.
I don't care, this isn't my kingdom. I have ways to get away. I hear the king owes me a few favors.
On what grounds? I just laid out the evidence.
Emerald does state, you laid out claims, not evidence. But I can see and understand where you come from, King Aster. You are young. You are new to all of these things. But I will adhere to your call and your misgivings of myself. I understand you wanting to get rid of your potential rivals. I will adhere to your whims and deeds, if that is sufficient to the calling.
Will Governor and Heir Apparent of Port Harbor please step forward as witnesses towards claims that I have spoken?
They step forward. The current ruler is still the ruler because unfortunately things haven't changed in that part. But more or less, the daughter is still running things, mainly. But he's still the leader, so he does stay. Yeah, quite right. Verily, these individuals, the king and his men and women, did help me reclaim my mind after potential loss due to Emerald and his curses. Yes, indubitably. Then his
Good God.
Wow,
daughter.
this doesn't sound scripted at all.
Good governor, perhaps let your daughter speak.
I was about to say, and then his daughter actually speaks. What my father is trying to state is that due to circumstances connecting with Emerald and his gifts, I was altered of mind, and my father would potentially have been cursed with his holsters. While we do not know what the holsters would have done, my mind was clouded in some type of magical effect. That being the case, though, we do not have those armaments as they were melted in some sort of quicksilver. That being the case, though, we can go into this stating as bear witnesses, and he witnesses if one would to use a truth spell upon us. Emerald does look towards you and nods again. Circumstantial evidence as best. You do not have the supposed items, but I can understand wanting the king's favor. His way of doing things, murdering his former. I can see you wanting to be on his good side. And you can tell that I am, by the way, rolling secretly, not because it has anything to do with you, but has to do with the politicians. Some people are more or less questioning if this is true or not. From what you can tell with your passive perceptions and like feign mind reading, Kindling, Stowell, and Numala seem to be more or less not sure if Aster's telling the truth.
Don't I have the fucking crown that we took from her in my bag of holding?
That thing melted. You have the Quicksilver, I think.
I don't remember it melting.
I remember
It did.
saying it melted.
The Quicksilver stuff. Councilmember Dean and Governor Vortic. Vorsho? How are you supposed to say it? Vorto?
Verado.
Verado.
If you would step forward and bear witness as to what was found on your person.
They step forward, and Verado does state, not going to mince words, a gift given to me by Sir Emerald was laced with the magical trap spell, more than likely, to cause an explosion to likely kill me or anyone else around me. Likely having to do with the supposed attempt at the king and his advisors, as mentioned beforehand.
Is Emerald still subtly casting a spell in his head?
He is still saying magical words in his head, that is true. At this
And
point in
Council-
time, for sure he could proc it, but he is holding on to it.
Councilmember Dean, as a character witness, I will state this, and I ask that you answer truthfully. Do me and you get along?
Personally, not really.
Do you think I am aware of this fact?
Yes.
And yet you are still in my court of advisors, yes?
That is correct.
Governors, if I simply wished to oust people, surely it would have been easy for me to do so with Councilmember Dean here. That is not in my nature, whatever you may think. I do try to solve things civilly where possible. I think Councilmember Dean is a good and upstanding man who offers a very interesting point of view on the affairs of things. I'm honored to have him serve me. The next point of evidence, if I could have one of the guards fetch a piece of the armor worn by Councilmember Vert.
Guard goes out. Guard comes back in. Presents armor. Peace.
Anyone who wishes may identify this armor and find the curse inscribed on it as they would wish.
Noverven being someone that can identify and also make sure that this is truthfully a thing, begins to identify this scrap piece of metal, and he does look towards the rest of the group. This is indeed cursed. I don't really know what the identifying procs are, but if what the king has stated does stand true, these allegations do hold merit if this and the full armor set is fully intact.
I don't know how intact it will be. This armor was worn by Emerald's own Sitting Council Member Vert, who, upon seeing the amulet gifted to Governor Vorto, lunged for it, exploding the room that we were all in. If Councilmember Colette and Cole are in
Carl.
Carl are in well enough shape, they can be called and vouched for this as well.
How fortunate it is for you that you can have them mended and tended to, all the while persuading them to be on your side. And my charge, the one that did this, you sure it wasn't an act of your own mindsets? I am aware that you have mages and the like. It would be prudent of you to simply subtly do things on your own behest, perhaps controlling his mind. And besides, if he is wearing a curse, I am sure someone of my house has some explaining to do. I do not give all my charges, regardless if they are family or not, every little gift.
Yes, I'm having them tended to. They were in an explosion.
Yes. How fortunate for you that you can have them alone and explain to them what happened. All alone.
Councilmember Colette was conscious for most of the ordeal.
Oh, yes. And according to the former reports I've been given to by my charge, she is very cuddly with you and the rest of your team. I'm sure she has the truth. You
I'm
can
sure
tell
she will
that
speak the truth as needed for the court.
you can tell that Emerald is more or less losing Umala, but Stalwell and King Ling are kind of still on his side. Karn still remains neutral, and the rest don't seem to be buying it.
Yes. She's so close with us that she immediately accused me of trying to set off the explosion.
Good enough cover. Great way of making sure that you can be trusted or not, after all. And besides, you did say that she would collaborate with you now, after being tended to. Isn't that convenient that she'll change her story after she's been tended to?
I do not think she would change her story. I think that she simply needed her wounds looked
You've
at
just
before
stated
was
that
present.
she changed it after Miss Yoko, or one of you, I do not know, spoke with her.
You misunderstand.
No,
When
I
she
think I
regained
understand it
consciousness.
quite right. But again, I will allow you to take me in and observe all this. It's not as if I am someone so destructive.
Please fetch Colette and Carl, if you would.
Very well, sir. The guard comes in and the card comes out. Carl barely conscious, but Colette also joins in. Also, anyone else feel free to speak. It doesn't have to just be Aster. Bup.
Yeah, how's the stuff going going on in his head.
Still holds.
If anyone would like to identify Carl, you might be able to find traces of his possession, though we did cure it right away, as would be expected. Though both can corroborate everything that we have said as truth. Councilmember Carl and Colette, if you would like to say what happened while we were in that room.
Carl Hurt does state, we were being examined upon potentially receiving gifts from Emerald. I was delivered some food and I ate it. King Astor's attendants got rid of whatever was ailing me, and we're examining Miss Colette's and young Vert's equipment as well. But soon enough, when Miss Yoko showed some type of, I think it was some jewelry, at Vert, he lunged at the weapon, and, well, last thing I remember is a whole bunch of flame just eating me alive. Colette, like, more or less contributes to the exact same story. And Emerald does state, oh, yes. Quite right. It's a good thing you had them together to collaborate your agenda. And Colette just straight up looks towards him. Regardless of intent or potential intent, I am more or less not okay right now. No offense to the king or you, Emerald, but I would not put my life in your hands. And it's a good thing you can tell the story quite right, or else you might lose your head. After all, he's already murdered his older brother, or younger brother, I don't really know the semantics. His father exiled his nursing maid, and killed so many soldiers. At this point in time, I will tell you that Kingling and Stawell are not saying anything, but are more or less on Emerald's side by the way they look, Yoko and Apani. It doesn't seem like they're going to do anything. It's just like they are seeing the things he's putting down.
They're drinking the Kool-Aid.
They're drinking the Kool-Aid. But
Governor
Emerald, like,
Mothman.
puts the wine bottle, the wine cup down on a saucer that's nearby, like, puts his hands out towards the guards. Now, enough this little charade. I'm sure you can convince them without me. Otherwise, I am more than willing to go to trial.
Governor Emerald, this is your trial.
This is not a trial. This is a farce.
You may call it as you wish. Do you have anything to say? Any evidence to disprove?
I do. And when he says that, Thane, you can tell he's releasing the spell, whatever this is.
Counterspell.
Is counterspell viewable?
I don't care if people see me casting spell.
I'm just wondering if counterspell has a visual effect.
Probably.
I mean, most spells do.
Well, it's got a somatic component, so they
Yeah, there's a hand.
probably
It's
noticed
only-
Thane
It's
saying
only
something.
somatic. It's only somatic. I'm just waving my hand right behind him.
Okay. You wave your hands right behind him, and something like pops around him. He then quickly, in
It
Thane's
doesn't-
mind, he then quickly does something that you would know. I just can't remember the name of it. He quickens his spell. And then immediately you can tell that his head begins to be writhed in thorns and butchers into his
Okay.
head.
How?
Bleeding out, he then hits the ground, convulsing down to the ground.
Wait. Okay.
Everyone
time out,
go
time
ahead.
Time out. Is he casting another spell?
Yeah.
in his head. He can't do that with Quicken Spell unless it's a cantrip.
I'm telling you, he's casting another spell. It's maybe not him casting it. Might be something on his person.
You just said that he was casting a spell in his head after I countered the other spell.
Yeah. He tried to do it, but it didn't act. I'm gonna tell you
Yes,
outright
it
because
is-
it's confusing you. He tried to use Quicken Spell, but it didn't work. So instead, he like goes towards his head, and thorns emerge out of the like little flower decoration he has on his head.
Would I notice him that he was trying to cast a spell?
No, like Thane does because he was reading his mind.
He was using subtle spell to try and conceal it.
Yeah, the first one.
And then the quicken spell you would probably notice.
The Quicken Spell
Yeah.
he tried to do, but it did not proc. So
He didn't-
instead, he reached for his head.
You said the one I counterspelled was the subtle spell.
Yes.
So then he Quicken Spell
Attempted to,
just now.
And it failed.
and it failed.
How'd it fail?
Because he tried to do one above a cantrip level and it didn't work. I'm just going to tell you because it makes less sense. Don't use meta knowledge. He's activating an item.
Ready to roll initiative.
Roll initiative. I'm going to have Colette be group 1, group guards, and group bigger council.
Okay, so he's using meta-wise, he was using an item. I get that. But I countered a spell he was preparing. If it was an item, if he was using it, I wouldn't have been able to counter it. It would have gone off.
These are separate things. They're
These are
not the
separate
same.
things. You know what? He's smart enough not to be that dumb. You countered his spell. Instead of quickening, because he would be smart enough to realize that he was countered, he goes for his head and it activates.
Okay.
Ignore the quicken spell. This is me screwing up.
Yeah, because I'm about to say, because if I countered a spell, mechanically, he cannot cast another spell unless it's a cantrip, no matter if he quickens it or not. And if you allowed that, then you should allow us to do things like that too.
I get what you're saying. It was just me screwing up.
I understand that. That's fine. I'm just pointing it out. Like, that happens. It needs to be like that. It needs to happen like that.
Okay, I think that's every group, and then you guys. Okay, for sure, Yoko goes first.
Yoko's would hear in her head as he's grabbing his head. Dispel it.
Immediately, you guys do see Thane casting something behind Emerald. Something like pops off around him. He goes for his head, and thorns begin to grow over his head,
Technically-
piercing in. Yoko, you do hear Thane saying dispel it or whatever.
Technically, with the counter spell, the visibility doesn't come from me. All they see is just me moving my hand. What they would see is the shattering of the spell that coming off of, emanating from Emerald. He's like as he was casting it.
Not
Well, he's
everyone
also
is a
growing.
magical expert.
He's also growing a fucking thorn crown, so.
Yeah, I'm just saying, like the.
I understand. Not
From point of
everyone is
view,
a magical expert.
Magic's not coming from me. It's coming from him.
I'm just letting you know what it looks like to everyone.
Oh,
You-
they would probably see
Wave, hand.
Thane
Something on
wave
Emerald
his
like
hands.
sparks away, and then thorns begin to grow, and he is now in pain. Yoko, you're told to, dispel
I don't
the spell.
care what others think about me. To be honest.
Well, I'm gonna try and counterspell whatever he's casting.
He's already cast.
It's already been cast. Air
Yeah.
quotes.
Okay, well, I don't have dispel magic prepared, so
You
that's no
cast
good.
counterspell into him, but it doesn't seem to be working. They are still growing and growing rapidly. Initiative 18.
Okay, I'll move over there and wait for people to get away from Emerald. And that'll be my turn.
Okay.
I'll use my bonus action to start my blade song.
Okay. You cast a spell on him, but it doesn't seem to work. Everyone does see you do that, so unless you have subtle spell. You run over towards him and begin to do a battle stance attack. Dance. People do take this to notice. At the end of your round, at the end of your turn, he does sustain 2d6. You see one thorn butcher into him, causing him to bleed more. You all just hear him say, "Make it stop! Make it stop!"
Okay.
Verado and the rest of the council members look towards all of you and go, well, not all of you, but like look to the room and goes, "What's going on? What is happening?" Colette moves over towards the area, looking at Yoko, like getting ready to fight.
And she moves closer
Yeah.
after I just told everyone to get away from him.
Oh yeah, that's a good point. She wouldn't do that. She's not dumb. I guess. Also, she's not part of that group. What am I doing? Karn begins to move away 30 feet. Spending. Yeah, I'm gonna make them spend their turn just getting away. Everyone else is out of the way, so that's okay. At the end of council turn, take another 2d6. Rolled low. Apani!
And then. I don't want to waste it, but I'm going to. I'm going 6th level Dispel Magic.
Okay. Choose creature, object, or magical effect within range. Any spell. Okay. You cast Dispel Magic, and thankfully enough, 6th level is high enough. Casting into it, you can tell that the effect stops, but the thorns and everything else are still in there. It's just no longer growing.
I think he needs a doctor.
He just looks towards you and goes, "What I need is for this farce to stop."
Well, she did stop the thorns.
It's not what he's implying.
I mean, if you really wanted to stop the next time, I can just wither you and the thorns away.
Trying to murder me and making yourself the heroes.
Oh, I'm
Do not
trying to
care
be a
for
hero
this.
Here.
Anything else, Amani?
Yeah, give me a second. I'm looking at my.
Oh, wait, sorry. The last one would have done 3d6. Extra 6.
I'm actually gonna do something I haven't used yet. I'm gonna call forth a little hawk. This is a massive thing, but Hawk Spirit.
Hawk Spirit on what?
It's an aura effect.
Aiding you and your allies. Insight with a creature makes an attack roll against a target in Spirit Aura. You can use your reaction to grant advantage on the attack roll in addition to advantage wisdom checks while in the aura. I'm assuming it's surrounding you?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Let's place it like right here.
People just see you casting magic to summon a hawk in spiritual form. I think it was 30 feet.
Mm-hmm.
Rest in peace, Raucus.
Oh no. Anything else?
No, that's it.
Okay. You've stabilized the damage, but at the end of your turn, he does still take 3d6 damage, because that thing is in his head, man. That needs to go. But you stabilize it at a cool 3d6, and he's not looking good. 9 points of damage, okay. At the start of his round, he's just going to try to remove this thing from what it appears. Okay. Apani and Yoko, you can tell that it looks like he's trying to remove it, but from the way he's pressing it, he is digging it further in.
Can't I see that? I'm right next to him.
Yeah, sure, why not? You're like right next to him. It's very subtle though, which is why I mainly said Yoko and Apani. But yeah, you're like literally next to the guy. He like makes himself bleed further, and you can tell he just looks towards you. You dug this into my head, and now you won't remove it. Dealing another d6. 9 points of damage, and he is almost down. Esther.
I have to dash to get there, so I'm gonna then action surge, and I'm gonna try to rip this thing off of him.
Okay, don't do too much damage, or you might just murder the man.
I can bring him back.
Now we can bring it.
Oh.
What do you want me to roll to try and take this thing off?
Probably athletics if you're using just brute strength, or like, what do you attempt to do?
Yeah, just kind of the idea is literally just rip it off, so athletics.
Yep.
And his head comes off too.
Don't tell me if that's a succeed or not.
I'm not
Did
telling
I
you.
do that?
Alright, we'll take the 26.
Okay. More or less not carefully, but you remove this thorn crown off the top of his head. For sure it's do damage, but I'm gonna say with the 26, you like, with enough force, just do non-damage, physical damage. I forget what it's called.
Non-lethal?
Non-lethal damage. You rip it off, and you can tell that he's heavily bloody, bleeding out. He does then, as a reaction, just hit the ground. And it looks to everyone like he died. I think you still have... No, wait, you action surged. You can attack him if you want.
Or he can play on hand.
No, I can tell him to get the fuck up, you fucking coward, liar, and traitor, as I healing word him.
Okay. You healing word him, and he is stabilized, and awake. And Kingling does look towards you, and more or less combat is over. Unless you guys do something. I'm just gonna keep this here just in case. It'll be Thane's turn if something happens. Heavily bloodied and bleeding out, he does look towards you, Aster, and, well, the rest of you. And he just basically makes the claim. I said I would go willingly, but you use your mage, you use your magics to present yourselves as fearful, as destructive. I would willingly die to make sure that this kingdom survives.
Aster, can't
You've
you
already
make him
shown
speak
your
the truth?
hand.
Aster, can't you make him speak the truth?
I can.
Oh, why don't you do that and make him speak the fuck? Because I'm tired of hearing it.
Stowell does look towards you, Aster. You sure that is wise, King Aster? He's already been through a lot. Chinning him up and putting him in a dungeon, letting people clear their heads rather than casting potentially more damaging magic would more than likely be a viable option. If you continue on this assault, surrounded as the man is, well, it only shows that there is something behind his words.
Really?
You have almost killed the man with your magic, Sir Thane.
I didn't do. All I did was counterspell.
And I am sure that is a truthful story.
Why don't we find out? Thane, would you be willing to submit?
I submit wholeheartedly. You can even bring, hey, Mr. Whatever pale-faced motherfucker. You can even bring your own cleric that can make people speak the truth. I'll wait. I'm fine. Bring them.
Alpani and Yoko, I want you to both go ahead and make perception checks. I'm only allowing you to because you have the highest passive perceptions.
Yoko, we have advantage on that. Hawk Aura.
Mm-hmm.
The fuck?
Okay. That is not enough.
Yeah.
Uh,
Something fine
as-
important comes up, and we roll terribly despite all the advantages
Yeah.
we have to it.
Man, this is so mean, but I already said I was going to be mean. Thane just looking towards Stowell and go, bring it! Bring your own mage! I'll take a lie detector test! Immediately you do see that someone shrouded in knight's garb by the doorway shoots directly towards this man and like guts him in the neck, immediately outright dying. Then the guard, you believe guard, then states, "For the king and crown!" and then dashes out into the hallway.
Kill Stonewall? Really?
Not Stonewall.
Stonewall?
Kills
That
a
guy?
kills a dude that was almost dead. Now, truthfully dead.
Oh. Emerald.
Yeah. Takes the rest of their things and currently invisible to you. Affronted by this, you can tell that they don't make a move against you. They are just now like stunned in silence.
And we just sit here and let this happen. We can't do anything, huh? Okay. Thank you.
People can sneak up on you guys.
No, I get no. I'm talking about like the after effect. He can run off without me being able to do anything. You said if something like this were to happen, it'd be my turn to do something.
Yeah, that's a good point. Like runs into the hallway away thing. What do you do?
Hold person.
I do believe you need visual effect, but I believe hold person is a reaction thing.
No, it's a spell.
That would be an action then, which means you would need to go into the hallway and cast it. Which you can do. I'm not saying you can't.
Yep.
You just need to move over there. Okay. I'm going to say you're close enough. Rush. You see the individual, like... It's weird. They almost look like they're flickering away. but you cast it before they can do anything. I believe it is a wisdom check.
Yeah.
Okay, and I don't believe to get any bonuses on wisdom, like advantage or whatever. So it's a straight up roll. Hiya! That's another one.
Phil. He's held, and I just drag him back into the room.
Yeah. Held. I think it's like for a minute. Grab onto him.
Tie him up. Bring him back into the room.
If you tie him up, it'd be more than a minute.
Well, during that minute, I'm gonna revivify Emerald.
It doesn't work. He did.
Oh boy.
Revivify. That's what Revivify does. It resurrects people.
It's not working, is what I'm saying. I understand it revivifies someone.
Alright, well then I want it to be known that the entire council sees me attempt to revivify Emerald.
Okay. This is a weird situation altogether. I'm gonna say it's this guard. It wouldn't be this guard, but I'm gonna say it's this guard. You like tie up the person, head towards the doorway. It'd be more than a minute to do all this, so they do get a chance to, slip away. But at the exact same time, they are tied up. So go ahead and roll athletics to see what number they need to beat.
Advantage, and they would have disadvantage.
It would just be the flat roll, but they'd still have disadvantage against it. Because they're tied up. Okay, they need to beat a 23, which I don't think that would be possible. Plus modifier, nope. And even worse. Okay. You drag the individual inside, garbed all in, clothing of a guard. Soon enough, you can tell that people are actively looking towards you, Aster, trying to help, but at the exact same time, everything that's transpired, him being dead, it looks very, very bad. But thankfully enough, Thane did capture the, murderer. Thane, you present the person, or, toss him to the ground. At this point in time, it would be past a minute, so they can speak. And they look towards...
I gagged him.
What's that?
I gagged him.
Oh, I thought you said you tied him up. Okay.
Tied and gagged him.
You gagged him.
He ain't doing no more spells.
He just shot at the dude. They didn't cast a spell.
I'm speaking right now.
They, try to say something, but nothing happens.
I'm going to remove the skag so that I can ask this man some questions.
I'm gonna identify Emerald's body.
He is dead.
Any magic on him? On the corpse?
Well, yes. The crown currently dispelled. A wand he has on his side, and his boots.
Just one boot?
His boots, plural. Sometimes Discord doesn't like to pick up S's. Anyways, ungagging him, the individual looks towards the king and goes, "My king, I did exactly what you said. He's done with. Now, allow me to be mercifully taken out."
I did not tell you to kill this man.
You did indeed, sir. But I understand that you have to show face.
No, this would be a terrible plan for me to try to lie in front of the council members like this.
The lion does state that is honestly true. But at the exact same time, this debacle is unclear on what truly transpired here.
Okay, really?
Yes, really. Mr. Thane, you did cast some magic on Emerald, and while I do believe it is something defensively, having a guard
I
murder
was
the
more or
man...
less talking to you, Dogma.
Okay, what's up?
Okay, I'm not gonna hold words. Like, first off, I get some things and stuff, but there's all these people here that have been saying that what Emerald's been doing. Yeah, I understand about me casting. I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about her comment towards Aster about all this. There's all these people that have been throwing evidence at Emerald being all this, but yet they're still gonna go with a comment like that. Really?
Yes.
Okay.
This is a weird situation. It's not as if they trust Emerald. It's more like, what the heck is going on?
Yeah, but
Magic
there's
was
so
cast,
much evidence
dude
stacked
shot
against him right now.
Yeah, and it looks like to silence him permanently, you guys more or less vigilante style murdered the dude.
Why would we have him taken out if
Exactly.
we had overwhelming evidence
This
against
is a
him?
weird situation, is what she's saying.
But that's what I'm saying too. There's so much evidence that we submitted that, and then this random lone person comes in and then just shoots him and then starts randomly shouting this, saying this. You're gonna have this NBC still saying that. Oh yeah, you're still in question, King Aster. This is quite nefarious.
I think
I
you're
don't believe
misreading.
you.
Like, I get it. It's not that she doesn't trust Aster. It's more like, this is weird. Someone needs to investigate this. I suggest you investigate this before anything else happens. It's not as if she goes, oh, you clearly murdered the man. No, it's more like, okay, this is weird. You need to investigate this because something's not adding up. It's not like, oh, I don't trust you anymore. Clearly this one guard did blah, blah, blah. No, it's like, this is a weird situation. Sort your stuff out.
Okay.
Also, Stoll and Kingling still don't trust you guys.
I myself will submit to a zone of truth. Is anyone present who would be able to administer it?
Delion would be able to. Delion does state I would be able to.
I'll submit to it too, like I was telling Stonewall. I'll submit.
Stolwan and Kingling do state, not in unison, but they do state, I don't believe that is necessary. I do see the kind of man you are. Rest assured, King Aster, we will not go against you. We can already see what may transpire if we do.
Council.
Okay, that right there.
Yeah, that's...
No, out of character. Really, a dogma?
That is them drinking the Kool-Aid.
Governor DeLion, if you would please step forward.
Stoll and Kingling are trying to leave. If you stop them, you can definitely stop them.
No one is leaving this room. That order still stands.
Yeah. Your guards basically stop them by the door. Well, not by the door. They stop them right there. Blah, blah, blah. DeLion comes forwards. And Aster and Thane, I want you to go ahead and roll wisdom saving throws.
I fail. I choose to fail.
As do I. Willingly submit to the zone of truth.
Okay.
Mostly
because game.
Mostly because paladin with advantage and really good charisma saving throw. I actually stand a really good chance to actually never fail it.
Yeah. I get it.
Well, and you can willingly submit to spells too in this
Yeah,
world. So
I get it. I'm just telling and saying, out of game. if you believe Emerald's like the only guy that is against you, for sure you can do
Oh.
this. But
There's his
Yeah.
guard right next to his body that hasn't done a thing.
he is just like standing at attention by his former council member, well, senator, in theory. He's not going to attack you, unless you like want him to.
Oh, shouldn't we bring this guy up here so everybody within range to make the people that need to be spoken need to speak the truth?
I'll leave that decision to Governor DeLine.
The range can fit the man in question. I assume you gagged him still, or re-gagged him.
Yeah, out of re-gagged him.
Yeah.
So, pull him over and ungag him.
Okay. And again, if you believe that Emerald's the only guy against you, you for sure can willfully.
I would have been able to pick up on like thoughts and stuff. Dogma.
They're casting a spell.
No. Yeah, I can cast this spell without being seen,
Uh,
without anybody knowing.
yeah.
And I cast it earlier in the situation when we were scanning.
Yeah.
Emerald and
I'm not saying you can't. So I'm gonna name off a few spells. Let me know if Thane knows them. I'm not saying is aware of them. I'm saying knows them. Bless.
Nope, I don't have that.
Okay. Zone of Truth.
No, I don't have. I can't use it.
Modify Memory.
Not yet.
Wall of Force.
Not yet.
Bless.
You
Already said bless.
I already said Bless, but I forgot. Banishment.
Yes, I know.
Okay. It's in a language you are aware of, but not a spell you yourself know.
Okay, I'm confused as why you were asking that in the first place.
If you're reading her mind, and you just said you are,
No,
This is
not
happening.
her. I said earlier, before all this happened, when I was reading everybody's mind.
Yeah.
You said he might not be the only one. Would I
No, I'm
have
saying-
gotten anything from everybody else?
No, not if they're very safeguarded. You were distinctively.
That's all I needed. That's
Okay,
what I was asking.
And also you did say to where and who. Is it the group or Emerald? And you said Emerald.
Okay, I'm confused again. What?
When you were reading minds, you posted the spell, and I asked, okay, on who? The entire group or Emerald? And you said Emerald.
I'm talking about now. I'm reading mine.
Yeah, now you do hear Delian casting a spell, getting ready, in words
fine.
you don't know.
That's fine.
Well, in a spell pattern you don't know. And everyone else more or less, thinking on this. But yeah, you willfully.
Yeah, nobody can detect me casting this spell because it's in my head.
Yeah. Okay. Soon enough, after she actively says the words out loud, and I'm pretty sure, Astra, you know what's it called? Zone of Truth?
Truth.
Yeah.
Paladins generally get it. Well, clerics generally, but I'm sure paladins know it.
They do.
Yeah. The spell is cast, and you willfully do so. Fail, and eventually the other guy fails.
Yeah.
But from what you can tell, he may or may not have willfully failed it. And Delian looks towards the both of you. And that guy.
She would know if he willfully failed it.
She
If he
knows
was
that
resistant-
he failed it.
resisting-
I'm not saying to you guys if he willfully failed it or not. That is that person's information. But I digress. She looks towards all of you, and she does state, very well then. At any point in time, were you against Emerald and potentially after his life?
No.
Yes, just now when I brought him to trial.
Very well then. And the guy behind you does state, yes, right after the king appeared in front of me to give me this missive. This job. Oh, okay. Very well then.
I did not give the order to this man to have him killed.
Delian looks towards you. It's likely someone disguised themselves as you, but very concerning. Very well then. At any point in time, did you believe Emerald as a potential risk against all our lives, not just your own?
If we're gonna go by titles, it's captain.
You're not on a boat.
I'm still a captain. Like, in situations like this, even if I'm not on my ship, I'm still a captain of a ship, so I would still be referred to as a captain.
Very well, Captain Thane. Well then, the lot of you and Captain Thane, King Aster, and nameless individual. Nameless individual does state, it's Mark, miss. Right, well, at any rate, at one point in time, did the king speak to you, Mark? Right before arriving inside. I was nearby in the hallway, and he moved away from some guard. He then spoke to me, telling me what to do. He said he would take care of my family and make sure everything's all right. I would do it again for the king. All right.
I mean,
It's a weird way of
that
saying this.
definitely didn't happen. 'Cause
King Aster and Thane, where were you at the time? And you would be in that room, like a little bit before then. Like, this is a little bit after the, what's it called? That one Asimar you captured that was sent away in, like, that
Tiefling.
time frame.
We were
That's more
in
tiefling.
a room with some guards. The room where the explosion that we stated earlier happened. We were with some guards. It was me, King Aster, and our two other friends. 2 guards and a prisoner.
Very well.
This is true.
I do need to ask this, so pardon the way of phrasing this, but Thane, Captain Thane, for what reason did you cast magic on Emerald?
Shit. Out of character. Shit. You had to ask that question. He was casting a spell, so I cast counter spell.
Stalwart does state, that's strange, I didn't hear anything being said,
He used
not even gestures.
He used a sorceric style of magic that allows him to subtly cast spells. I, being a sorcerer myself, picked up on this.
Now, it's not gonna fly as the truth.
I mean, technically, it is the truth. I can pick up on it as a sorceric magic after finding out about it.
For sure, you can say this, but that last part implies that you picked it up when it was happening. No, you read the mind, dude.
Yeah, but I don't have to, like, the way, I can finesse my way around. I'm not technically lying. That's not technically a lie.
All right. Then she asked this. How were you able to identify this? What markers or key factors? If he does have other people here, we would like to know about them.
Okay, explain, ask the question again, sorry?
How were you able to identify this?
Like, how was I able to tell that he was casting a subtle spell?
Yeah.
I mean, the council knows of what I can do. I read his mind.
She does pause, and a lot of people do pause. Give me 1 second. Okay. More or less, not councils, but the senators in this case, do look at you wearily and not wide-eyed, but like suspiciously. Very well. Thank you, Captain Thane. King Aster, were you aware of Thane's abilities, and did you sanction these actions before laying claim to your allegations against Sir Emerald?
He hears in his head,
Warily? Did I really say warily?
You said wearily,
Oh, whatever.
which is more like tired and whatnot.
Yeah,
Warily
do I-
is like cautiously or like on the lookout.
Yeah. You know my
what do I
English.
hear in my head?
I don't know.
I mean, you hear, you didn't sanction it, but you know of my ability.
I sanctioned the use against the council. And given that Emerald was on trial and a prominent individual that I thought needed to be watched, had he asked me if he was allowed to read Emerald's mind during the trial, I would have sanctioned it then too.
Very well then. It does seem to me that things are not exactly as they seem, but it does not appear that the king and his cohorts are in compliance, or other way around, are not at fault here. If I had to guess, this man had been deceived by another individual. We will look into this, if you would allow us, King Aster. Furthermore,
So you're not gonna ask me what spell I... Oh, no. I never said that. Sorry, I'm still kind of waking.
Furthermore, however, I would like to ask one last thing, if that is appropriate for you. And I will like to get the truth, but not in the spell. I would like to have your words. And she dispels the spell, and she looks towards Thane.
Yes.
To who are you allied to? To what kingdom do you hold?
Myself.
I see. Thank you. You can tell that's...
I serve no king, queen, emperor, ruler, but I do consider Aster a friend, and I will help him with anything. And I will submit to laws of this kingdom if I do anything wrong, but I do not swear allegiance to Aster.
Of course. And you can tell that Stolwen and Kingling are more or less, not heavily persuaded, but persuaded enough that once things are actually, formally presented, will take into consideration. They are not, fully drinking the Kool-Aid, but they have stopped, not being on your side. They are in the limbo stage. That being said, though, the last words that Thane gave...
Hold on. Delane.
Yes.
Recast a spell. I want you to be sure. Recast it.
You are not on trial, Thane.
No.
Captain Thane.
Aster, please cast it to make me speak the truth.
I will do so.
I swear no allegiance to any king nor queen nor emperor nor ruler. Aster is my friend. I will do what if he needs me to do. I will submit to any ruling and action of this kingdom and its council and its people. But no, I do not swear allegiance to Aster nor any.
Very well then, Captain Thane. I want everyone to go ahead and roll insight.
But myself.
Rolling insight.
Me too?
Everyone.
consider myself an ally of Aster, but no, I do not swear allegiance.
She believes you. From what you can tell, she and most of the other guards and council members and senators, they just call them senators right now, do believe the statements at hand. This is still weird. It's still like at question who's trying to do this. Emerald is dead for some reason, and Aster was blamed, but by the words.
Also, since the lines, it appears that you can use clerical magic. You might want to speak to the dead.
I do not
There is that option.
deal with the dead, Captain Thane.
This is still a court, and there is still one more trial.
Of course.
I-
That being said, though, I wasn't done. You can tell they do believe your story. Like, no one's going against you now. That being said, Yoko, Thane, and Aster, sorry, Alpani, you can tell that they do believe Thane is a liability to the kingdom. He's so close to the monarch, yet has no true allegiance to the crown or kingdom. And he can mind read. They're not going to do anything, from what you can tell, but they are suspicious of Thane.
I mean,
Fair, honestly.
that's fair. I'm not rebuttaling it. I'm just that. Yeah, that's fair.
This is still a court, and there is still a trial.
Of course.
I accuse myself of 10 accounts of mind reading. The punishment, which would be 100 days hard labor. I ask the council and governors to take into account the most recent actions before determining whether or not the punishment should be suitable.
You do see Kingling say something, but before he can, your dwarven friend does step in. Nonsense! You did it for King! You did it for country! You did it for the people! And then the lion does state, what likely he's trying to state is that given the current situation at hand, it was likely deemed necessary that mind reading needed to be done. That being the case though, I do believe the hard labor would be a qualifying penance? No, I'm thinking of the wrong word. Sentence, thank you. And I would agree with it. However, I would not suggest the king to be considered arrested. I would decree it, if all would allow, having King Aster working on a upgrade foundation project, showcasing him working with the people, all the while serving a sentence without the rest of the kingdom knowing the wiser. Nofernum then states, yes, that would work far better. King Aster still saves face, and no one has to know of the ordeal that happened today. Vorado then states, be that as it may, I would suggest, King Aster, not to be so light on yourself next time, as you do now know that we are aware of this. That being the case, though, I understand why you had to do this. I do not know what Emerald and whoever this masked individual is, but far be it from me
I have a
that
question.
you protected your own life. I would do the same.
I have a question for everyone here. I know I don't have any, but I do have a serious question. Does anyone know what is this? I've heard people while in this game speak of the light. Does anyone here know what this is?
Who would know? Actually, Delian would know. Actually, a lot of people would know. Delian would know. Nofarbin does look towards Delian. Yes, you would know. And Delian does state, of course I would. That is the emblem of Oh wait, you said light. Sorry, you didn't show that.
Yeah.
That is a qualificational name that is given to the entity or perhaps source of the religion of light, or rather, the beacon worshippers. They are known by many names, but the most even throughout is known as the worshippers of light. I myself fall under that category.
Okay.
Formerly, one of the former council members that were taken care of during the coup, during the liberation. She would say it politically. During the liberation, was the former
Head
ruler or head person. I don't know the actual term.
They would be called head priest.
Head priest.
Either head priest or high priest. It's high.
High priest. High priest, but he had been beheaded. I forget how he died, but I'm gonna say beheaded. Beheaded.
That was on you because I gave that decision to his son. His current
Oh yeah,
military dude.
he would have been beheaded.
That was
beheaded.
you.
Therefore, it fell upon others to take up the reins. Emerald would be the third highest within that ranking. I myself would be the fourth. And the other two, I'm afraid I do not know personally.
So this is the being that you worship, correct?
Yes. Many people consider it a will or force. But others within the sect do believe that it is an individual, greater deity that holds great sway.
I will say in Aster's head to remind him that this is also the being that supposedly told that guy in that town to do what he did.
I'm aware.
Kind of, sort of, yes. The light being was involved, but something else told him what to do.
Well, you get what it's basically
Yeah.
No,
But it wasn't the light that ordered the guy to mess with the ring.
no, it was an individual that gave the order, but they were serving the light.
I feel like I got you confused. It was an individual that was going against the light.
Okay, yeah, because that's not how. Okay, yeah, I'm confused now.
Someone
I remember you saying back then that it was the
messed
light.
with that person's, gave them like visions, and basically told them to, pause the teleportation circle, because they received visions of like angelic beings
No,
coming out.
I'm talking about in the small podunk town.
Oh yeah, that one's true.
Yeah, that's what I was talking about.
Okay, sorry.
I wasn't talking about the port harbor.
That's my bad. Yes.
Governor DeLion, we've reason now to believe that there are members of your religion that are corrupted or perhaps swayed by a force that they believe to be the light that is committing these acts.
It is possible, but more than likely, mortal hands are trying to meld these minds the way they want.
It would not surprise me.
Oh, yeah.
It's usually
But
how
there
things
could
go.
also be higher being that do this.
Mint mold. She does state, also a possibility. I will look into that potential transgressions that have followed within the time to serve your sentence, King.
I'll willingly submit myself also to whatever y'all deem worthy because I'm the one who committed the crimes.
Under the behest of the king.
Then you will serve no sentence for carrying out my orders.
Technically, can't order me around.
They
Complied with my
they look
suggestion.
so much more suspicious out there. But not that much. Yeah. Basically, the lion will look into the things again. Who knows if you can trust her? Carl somehow survived.
I love how the fact that I'm a third party in this kingdom. Like, there's the king. I'm very close to the king. The whole setting is just like I'm a third party power that's associated and has the king's ear. It's very fun.
Yeah. I'm gonna say a whole bunch of guards take that one guard that Emerald has still remaining here, and that one dude now gagged and like more timed up, to the dungeon. So you can speak with them later.
I'm kind of looking at Emerald's, looking over Emerald's body, like I'm not hiding my magic anymore. I'm identifying, detecting magic, because I want to know if that bolt had any magic attached to it.
A guard comes over to potentially pick up the body, but you do your thing before he does. He's like patiently waiting in the background, while Apani may be judging you. I'm not sure what Apani's doing actually. She's like sitting down.
Oh yeah, Apani, aren't you? You've got the divine magic, don't you? Akios, you there?
Sorry, what?
I said, Thane said to Alpani, don't you have the divine magic?
Yeah.
Aren't you able to, like, tell if, something was amiss, like, divine-wise with him? Like, I can't really tell if he was, the reason why the Revivify earlier wouldn't work is magical or anything.
I mean, I can check over the body.
Yeah. You definitely can. And it's still awkward because you're doing this in front of the Senate and the Council. Aster just shouts out, "I am the Council." Oh, sorry, wrong
I am
one.
the king.
I am the Senate.
I love democracy.
At one point in time, you can determine that this isn't magical. This is something likely not parasitic in a way, but also yes, in a way. This is a natural kind of substance that was likely injected by the bolt into Emerald. This kind of thing, I'm going to go ahead and say Apani, roll nature.
I've never actually had a soul.
I was going to say roll high, but natural 20 is pretty high.
Isn't that the highest you
Anyways.
can get?
You look him over and you examine the way the bolt pierced into his neck, getting the likely poison into his mind so fast. From what you can tell, this type of substance is known as the ever-sleeping nectar. This type of thing is natural, but it's not really naturally found here. It's more of some type of herbalist, like very, very specialist herbalist, would have this kind of thing. This kind of stuff grows in the Underdark, heavily poisonous, and secretes so much degree of danger that it just destroys the body, to the point that the magical circuits within their body also breaks apart, effectively killing the soul. For one, it, very dangerous. More than likely, the guard was given this to, murder the man. At the exact same time, it is also found in the Underdark, so it's likely assumed that whoever did this was from the Underdark. It's known as
Not
the
like we have any enemies down there.
It is known as the ever-sleeping nectar, but it's also known as the sleeping flower. a simple common name, but it has a different name in Undercommon. But I'm not going to do that to you. I'm going to say it's a sleeping flower.
Pass that information on to everyone.
Yeah. There's not enough, to like get it and like reshoot it at someone, but you like know enough that you can tell what this is. Yeah. Verado then states, after this is told, the guard then states towards all of you. Another guard also joins him to like, collect the body. We will bring this man, whatever remains of him, into the crematorium. But beforehand, we will allow you what is ever necessary to investigate. King Aster, Captain Thane, Miss Alpani, unless you also have a title as well. I was by the doorway, so I know that people have titles.
I'm proud of you.
Thank you. And
send the
Miss
body
Yoko.
to the
What was that thing?
talking to Aster.
Oh, okay.
I missed it too. Sorry.
Should we send it to another room so that I can talk to it?
I don't know if it will let you. From what?
Oh, I don't need its soul. I just need the body. The way Speak with the Dead works doesn't speak with the soul of a dead person. It speaks with the body. It's basically what the body remembers, technically. You're not technically talking to the soul of the dead person. Talking to what the remnant.
Okay, I clearly didn't explain it so well. It breaks apart the body at a subatomic level. There's like nothing left of him.
His body's still there, though.
Sure.
Unless you're gonna come out and.
You know what? I'll say the spell works. I'll say the spell works. This is mainly just something you can't revivify or being reincarnated back. So I'm gonna say the spell works. Forget I said anything. He's like waiting to see like where you want him.
Take him to Captain Thane's room.
Very well, sir. Goes to Captain Thane's room. Your wife is currently there. She more or less understands what is happening because it's not as if you haven't brought a dead body home before. Well, technically it'd be her, but whatever. Godmode more or less returns soon after. It is done, sir. But Verado does stay. Very well, then. Other than the factors that have been played out, and clearly, whoever is scheming to try to get rid of King Aster, other than the former Emerald, I do suggest we take this time while the king is politically showing his prowess to the people, to investigate and to potentially see further actions that lie in wait. My brother did inform me that the Drow are a potential risk factor right now. If you are willing, King Aster, I would suggest we look into this matter as well.
My permission to do so.
Very well, then. I do suggest we...
Show of hands, however, is anyone going to continue to refuse to pay taxes?
You can tell, you already know the people that weren't paying. Your now dwarven buddy, Emerald, dead. Kingling was also one. No. No one else argues against this. Noferman was paying his taxes, but gutting them heavily down. Because he wanted to see if he could get away with it. But more or less, no one says, no, we will continue to do this. It's more like nod in affirmation that they will continue, that they will pay.
The whole situation, this whole little thing was Emerald, and then this little thing called taxes, and then it sprouted into all this.
Councilmember Dean. Until a new governor of the Emerald City can be found, I would like to appoint you as so.
I would advise against that, sir. While it is an honor, I am not from that city, and appointing me now after the potential, we'll make a cover story and state that they are currently missing. I would suggest someone else other than a sibling of another senator.
Very well.
Could show nepotism.
Councilmember Carl.
Yes, sir.
Would you take the position?
I suppose, but don't you need another council member then?
Yes.
Well, technically he needs 2 because of Vert.
Well, if you believe like Vert is a spy, yeah,
No, I think Bert needs to recover and make sure that he's not possessed.
that's also true. Carl then states, don't you need, other than Vert, another council member?
If I am raising you to the rank of governor, then yes, I would need one from your home city to be reappointed.
Might I suggest the current senator's daughter? Until potentially she takes over the senatorship, and then another can be elected.
As your own internal affairs, and I will not meddle in them.
The current senator does state, excellent! You know, I've always said that she can lead people and trust people. More or less, just doesn't want to do the job. Wants to fight. This man's a fighter. She does state, very well then, I will make arrangements so my father can have retainers to assist him in his matters throughout the day until his term is up, in which case I will apply for election at the moment in time I am allowed to. But for the record, we did check ourselves after the ordeal with Emerald and his gifts, and we have been fit, healthy. There is no need for a potential risk factor in this part. She goes on and on, but more or less, they're fine. They've been covered. They've been cleared. They're good to go. And Colette does state towards you all, that being the factor, who would take over Vert's position? I'm sure we can find someone, or Carl can find someone since he would be in that city.
Yes, it will be Carl's choosing. This is all, of course. I assume that all current presiding governors are okay with this.
No one seems to have an issue. Like, politically, no one seems to have an issue, but personally, they don't know who Carl is. He's just a peasant pusher that they don't know. It's like something weird, but, you know, most of the senators do believe in you, Aster, so they're not going to say anything. Very well. And Delian does state, excellent. Well, that being the case, I would suggest your assistants. She doesn't call them anything else other than assistants at this point in time, because Thane said, I belong to no king or crown. Should perhaps maybe divert themselves or distract themselves while you hold your labor of love and construction for the people.
What's up?
More or less saying people should take downtime while Aster serving his sentence.
That's fine. Aster, if you'll excuse me, I'm gonna go figure out some stuff.
You do not serve me.
Oh, I wasn't, like, asking for permission. I was just letting you know.
Laughs.
Okay, so here's what's gonna happen. It's not gonna happen today, but it is gonna happen. At this point in time, we're going into downtime, roughly 100 days. In that while, the rest of the senators are going to look into a few things here and there, see if they can find whoever's trying to impersonate Aster, and how they got so close in the first place. Carl was going to find another person to take over. It's likely to be someone like Carl, because he's a good judge of character, unless he's not. He did eat those chocolates. Uh,
My man's has a sweet tooth. Leave him alone.
yeah. In those 100 days, Apani, Thane, Aster, and Yoko, you can do downtime activities. Whatever that might be, just let me know. That being the case, though, you can just hang out and do nothing. It's entirely up to you. This will be, since it's 100 days, like 1, 2, 3, roughly 3.5 months of downtime.
Okay.
Yeah.
Oof.
Again, you don't have to think about it right now. That is what's gonna happen. Like this meeting more or less is done with. So with the rest of this day, what do you intend to do? All
I'm
of you.
going straight to my room and I'm taking his boots off, that wand, and the crown.
For sure, they would have stripped him of those things
Why?
because magical items.
But would they have known that they were magical? I didn't say anything about them being magical.
That is true.
Technically, he still would have them.
I'm gonna ask Aster this. Aster, unknown potential assailant. Would your guards have cast identify or detect magic?
Yeah, detect magic.
Yeah. A guard can be there, or the items would be gone.
A guard can be there. A guard can be there.
Okay.
I don't have a problem with that.
Yeah.
I'm still-
you
I'm
enter
not-
into your room.
I'm still gonna identify what the items were in case they were the cause to. You know,
Yeah.
I mean, it's.
A guard,
It's
your
not-
wife, and that dead body are there. Sounds like a bad joke. Are in the room currently, and the guard does state, "Hail, Captain Thane. Right now we have identified that these things are magical." He points to the things you already know are magical. However, we have yet to identify them.
Yeah, that's what I planned on doing.
Your wife then states, "You're welcome to leave now, guard. I'm sure we can take it from here." Unfortunately, ma'am, or Captain Ma'am. He doesn't know the titles other than Sir or
Really?
King. I'm supposed to be here for security's sake. Right. Casting Identify, you can tell that the boots are boots of Elven kind.
Okay.
The crown is known as a it's known as a crown of thorns, but not the spell Crown of Thorns. Basically, what it does is that it causes growth within the vines of the crown, puncturing whoever wears it for 2d6 points of damage, continuing leveling up so long as time persists.
Oh, so your options are to die.
Yeah, it's a very good assassination weapon.
I can use it and just put it on somebody I'm torturing and then use it as a coax to like, hey,
Or they die.
unless you tell me, you're gonna die.
Don't take the guard path. And what was the other thing I made mention? I do believe.
They're a wand.
Yeah. Inside a satchel, you found the wand. Inside, you do find a wand known as a wand of invisibility.
Neat.
You can cast it once a day.
Neat.
Standard invisibility, though, so. But you don't have to concentrate on it, so that's a good bonus. Anything else you do?
Alright. Yeah, I'll take his boots off. I'll take the crown. I'll take the wand.
The guard looks towards you, like nodding, and then like puts his hands out.
Oh no, you don't get these. I'll
I'm
speak
afraid they
with
do
that.
need to go into the coffers, sir.
No, you don't.
Oh, I thought he was holding his hands out for his share or something to keep quiet.
My apologies, sir, but they are potential risk factors and, well, evidence.
Then you can stay right here until said time of King Aster. They're not leaving my sight because of their I'm blanking on the word. Sorry, hold on.
Magical importance.
Yes, to said event.
Well, you can walk with
and
me to
possibility.
the vault, if you'd like.
Yeah, that's actually, yeah, I'd rather do that because, no offense, guard, but there's been a lot of shit going on. I don't quite trust you.
Of
No
course, sir,
offense.
Captain. Captain. Do you follow him to the vault?
Oh yeah.
Roughly a few minutes later, well, it'd take more than a few minutes, roughly 10 minutes later, you get to the vault. It is a very stone-walled room. He begins to, like, more or less tell you to turn the other way. Do you?
Nope.
I want to see how perceptive he is. Not very perceptive. He begins to put a pattern down, suggesting that he's, like, maybe messing around, like trying to see if there's a weird brick that he has to move to reveal the vault. But no, he's pressing a pattern in the wall, so you now know it. Sorry, Aster. And then soon enough, he then tells you, all right, you can look now. You pretend to look. And then, like, the wall begins to fractal pattern away, revealing a door. He begins to use his own sword and puts it inside like a keyhole. Basically, you would need this type of blade to open the vault, unless you're very good at,
Teleportation magic.
or thieves' tools. You would need to look inside, but you're about to look inside, so there's that.
Not technically with Dimension Door. As long as I know the location I'm going, I don't need to see it.
There is a chance you might, teleport into something. But it really doesn't matter. You're about to see what's inside and how far it goes in. Opening the door, you can tell that it is very, like a 10-foot thick wall that it opens inside. There you see a whole bunch of cubbies with a lot of things potentially inside. He goes to 3 of them, opens them with small keys he has on his person, and then pops them open. Very well then, sir, if you may.
Yep. And I'll put the stuff in.
Plop, plop, plop. Close, lock them.
I meant like basic, like I'm just looking around and then ready to leave.
Yeah.
Basically remembering the layout so that if I do wanna, come back later.
Yeah, like you can tell that there's also a whole bunch of magical spells there as well. The alarm spell mainly, as well as Wall of Force.
Mm-hmm.
But you know where they are. At any rate, he then basically bows and gestures. You go first.
That's fine. I'll leave.
You leave. He closes the door behind you. He's also outside. Locks up and then begins to head up as well as you. Soon after, you're back in your room or somewhere else. He gives his condolences to you. Well, probably not condolences is the proper word. He says goodbye to you and your wife. Captain Thane, Captain Miss Thane, pleasure to meet you both. And he leaves. He does know I'm not a captain, correct?
I don't think so.
Maybe the first day of
I
his
think-
job.
I think he might be a little stumped in the head.
It's it's possible. So do you want to tell me what happened? And do you tell her what happened?
Yeah.
Okay. While you're doing so, Apani, what are you doing?
For the rest of this day?
Yeah.
She'll probably make her rounds talking to people. Probably talk to Dean at one point.
Yeah. You make your rounds talking to people, and you eventually get to Dean. Everyone's talking with one another, what is to happen, what's going on. People are already arranging things to make it look like Aster's making this like very gauche, prestigious new development plan for the city and its infrastructure. A brighter today for tomorrow is the current banner that they're going with. Dean eventually like slips out and away because this is more senator thing than himself. So you're able to speak with him. Dean then looks towards you. Oh, Miss Apani, a pleasure as always.
Right. Well, curious, just your take on everything that's gone down.
Concerning. It's not as if I did not trust King Aster. It's more as if someone was able to get into the castle without being detected or seen. And hopefully that is the case. Otherwise, we might have another spy lurking in the midst, in the shadows.
My thoughts, exactly. Far be it for me to suggest, in an open room with all these senators, perhaps it's something you can bring up to have everyone within the castle ground screen at this point to see if there is a spy or someone under effects of control.
My thoughts exactly. Within the time frame that the king will be advancing the infrastructure of the city, we will look into this more than likely. If you'd like, you're more than welcome to assist us in this matter. I would welcome a third party.
I can help with that. I do have access to clerical spells.
It would be appreciated. But again, I don't mean to impose. You're more than welcome to do the things you do within this time.
I'll have more than enough time. I do now currently have a charge that I have to keep an eye on. But from my understanding, he is settled well into what he is doing.
Oh, you've taken a ward.
So he can be healed.
Oh, of course.
He was injured, and I do kind of take responsibility for that injury.
Well, we're all part of this kingdom. I'm glad someone did. Or else I might have had to. He laughs.
Is this Dean talking?
This is Dean.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, I wanted to be sure that that's talking. I was confused. You were giving off the candid. Okay, sorry.
It's fine.
I still would say discreetly speak to the king about this plan of screening everyone, so he knows that it's going to happen.
Of course. And furthermore, if someone does disappear, well, I suppose we all know who it is.
I know we've screened a couple council members already, but I still wouldn't let them off the hook on this other screening.
That would likely be the best option. After all, not every council member was here, and myself included should be hold to the same regard. So when the time comes, feel free to examine my mind or whatever your team intends to do. I don't know if it's just Captain Thane that can do that, but you're more than welcome.
I will not breach the minds like he does. I don't possess that kind of power. I'm a being from nature that also has faith in the deity.
Very well then. Forgive my misunderstanding.
Nothing to worry about.
Yeah. You talk with him about these things, and he is more than down to like screen everyone within the castle. And for sure, that will take time, but obviously you're going to have time, so that can be a thing that happens. And Apani, he does state that you're more than welcome to help out. We're also going to screen the council members that weren't there, but also the council members that were there. He himself included, but he won't be scanning himself. Otherwise, that'd be,
Which she would do. She will help with that screening.
Yeah. But that's a later topic altogether. Dean does state afterwards. So then, after this, is there anything else you're doing? Would your friends and yourself like to join me for a drink? We'd certainly need it.
I could go for a drink. I can ask them if they would like to join.
Oh,
I
excellent.
don't know if they will.
If Yoko's there, you can roll insight if you want, I guess. Alpani too, I guess. If you believe he's hitting on her.
I don't know. I'm just rolling.
Yeah, that's fair. Alpani, he seems friendly. You invited him to a drink, so it's only like polite, as well as he does enjoy your company. So he's inviting you to drink as well.
He doesn't enjoy your company, so he's inviting you to a drink.
No, he does enjoy your company. He is inviting your team as a polite thing to do, but he is more or less doesn't want them there. He'll accept it. It's just, you seem like a friendly person. I like your company. Oh, but you also have friends. I'll invite your friends, but please tell me that they are busy. Anything.
Well, with her insight into that, she would probably suggest a time that she could meet him, and she would tell him that, I'll go ask my friends.
Of course. I'm sure they have their own things to do today. I don't mean to impose. So it is something I offer to you and to them, but, no pressure or anything.
Very well. Then I shall see you a bit later.
Very well. His brother calls towards him and he, heads over there. Anything else up, honey?
No, but she will not ask anyone else.
Yeah, you'll get that drink and you'll spend a nice evening chatting. Yoko, what are you doing?
Probably just go and head to her room and try and get some rest to recover from her injuries from the fireball.
That is fair. Sprite's there. She helps you, get cleaned up, draws your bath. Obviously, she's not going to ask you for, lessons today. You clearly look like you're hurt. She's drawn your bath, cleaned you up, set the bed. You immediately destroy it after she just said it. And she gives you a meal. All the while, she is more or less asking you things here and there, like tidbits on, what's going on. She's doing that whole nosy security guard thing, I wasn't really there, what's happening, what's going on. Do you tell her anything? You don't have to. It's more like small talk.
Yeah, I'll fill her in a little bit.
She is more wildly taking it in. She is shocked at times. She is she's really into the time when you just talk about you guys fighting. But then the whole weird thing that happened just not that long ago, she's shocked, awed, surprised, bewildered, takes it all in. She then looks towards you after the story is done. Thank you for telling me, but I suppose I've taken enough of your time. If you need anything else, just let me know. I'll be out at the door. And hopefully tomorrow is not as eventful for you. Miss Yoko.
Well, it doesn't sound like it'll be, but you never know.
Truly. Ever since the young king... I don't know if she say young. You're probably around the same age as her. Truly. Ever since the king has taken over, things have been hectic. But in a good way for most of us. In a bad way for others, I suppose. Hopefully we can get this all sorted out.
One can hope.
One can hope indeed. But I'll leave you to it. She begins to walk towards the door. Comes back inside. Puts a plate of snacks and a cup of water next to your bedpost, and then walks outside again and closes the door. You can likely tell she'll be by the doorway if you need anything. And Yoko, do you just fall asleep?
Yeah, eventually.
Okay. Thinking on the day, you eventually fall asleep, and just what a weird day you have. Aster, what are you doing with the rest of your day?
I'll take questions from the governors in the Senate and whoever, as well as provide input on anything. We still had the general meeting that we had been called for together, so make sure that presides at least happens.
Yeah. You take the general meeting, first and foremost, tell them what's currently happening, about the drow situation, about the potential danger of war. You go through the paperwork and all that, and do you ever bring up the merchant that's currently selling Warforge in your kingdom?
I would, yes.
Okay. Nophanum does state, yes, they've been to my city as well. Some of our richer folk have bought in a few of the Warforge in turn. They do state that they are very strong and capable constructs. Although I do fear that some of them would use them for ill-gotten means, but I'll let you know if that happens. Verado does state, in my city as well, I've gotten a call. It's all good. That these Warforge have been seen and spotted. More and more have been seen roaming throughout the city. They seem humanoid at first glance, but getting a closer look at them, their skin is metallic. And then some of them do have glowing eyes and things of that nature. Some look human, others do not, but they always have that slight tint of metal that is viewable if you get close enough. It is a concern, but so far it doesn't seem to be a problem. But they do come from the kingdom above us, Luminera. So we will investigate if there's any political issue at hand. Let's see here. Delian also has seen some, but not that many. And everyone else don't really know what's happening. Well, this subject. Some people do ask you, how did you meet Thane? How long he's been with you? At what purpose and time did you know or were aware of his mind reading skills? And they also ask, how did you meet Yoko? Does she possess any skills that could be problematic to your situation at hand? Does she hold allegiance to another kingdom or crown? And the same kind of questioning as Apani as well.
I'll tell the truth for all of them.
Yeah. You say that Yoko comes from a different country altogether. You met when you were studying and learning. You don't really know her full allegiance, but it doesn't seem like she's dangerous to the kingdom. Same probably with Apani. You met her at a job, and she's sticking around for this long, surprisingly. She seems to be a caring individual, very caring, so it doesn't seem like, they'd go against anyone. But above all, you don't believe that any of your team is an immediate issue. Well, you probably wouldn't say it that way. But none of them had shown any risk factor being so close to you. They all nod, more or less. And again, you already know that they are heavily suspicious against the mind reader. But that's, things. You go on the topic at hand and tell them about the current situation, economically as well as socially. You sent out soldiers out to canvass the area to make sure everything was clear and any potential uprisings would not be extinguished, but more or less settled cleanly. They do tell you that some cities here and there were being rambunctious, but no one has, gone against the Kingdom and Crown. So far, they've been doing good. And they are expected to be back at their true posts roughly sometime this month. However, right now the borders are less defended, but not so much that you wouldn't hear word that people are coming in any certain direction. So that is a problem, but not an immediate one. Your funds have been shaved off by 30% because of people that just outright fled the kingdom after the liberation. But people are looking into getting more funds. Some of the senators are looking to see if some new merchants have any potential merchandise and things of that nature. And one of the reasons why they're also looking into the Warforged Man is if they can be a valuable asset to the kingdom. If they can turncoat him or make them exclusively to the kingdom. You deal the other businesses at hand as well, and Vorado does state, all right then, is there anything else we need to speak about? No one else really raises their hand. Aster, do you talk about anything else?
No, I think that is everything.
Very well then. Nofernum then states, all right then, King, Aster. Tomorrow we will make it publicly known that you are beginning a process of reformation within the city, reconstruction project. That'll be the key factor, but it'll be the way you pay your sentence. We will disguise it as follows. And he basically tells you basically do a air quotes fake, but it's, you're actually doing the work. Reconstruction project to advance plumbing, structures, and things of that nature. You'll use your skills working hand by hand, but with other people of the city. It is a political way of serving your sentence. And then over in the state. At that point in time, though, other than doing the official hours, you are more or less, other than having guards by your side, will be allowed to do whatever you seek. After all, you are the king. And publicly, it'd be far more venturous if you do so. Advantageous. Everyone basically just nods and they begin to separate along their ways. Anything else, Aster?
And that's it for me.
Okay. You eventually go to sleep. Do you tell your sister about any of this that happened? Because she was never here, from what you can tell.
Yeah, I would stay up. I would make sure I would stay up to inform her of everything.
Yeah. Surprisingly enough, she does come in after the event at hand. Obviously, she wouldn't be here because she would technically be the representative of this city. But since the king is here, it would be a weird way of stating your sister has more power than you. So she reluctantly, maybe she wanted a day off as well, stayed out of it. But she didn't come home until very late at night, roughly 1 a.m. Maybe just making sure no one noticed her. But soon enough, she does come in. She did hear things here and there from the guards when she entered inside. No news has spread out through the walls just yet, so it's only the guards and anyone else that was in the room. She asks you what happened, and you likely tell her. Is there anything you omit?
No.
Okay. She does look heavily worried and gives you a great big bear hug. Glad that you're okay, and she'll try to look into things, and hopefully we can have something to show. She then looks towards you, but you must be tired. Would you allow me to accompany you to get you to your sleeping quarters?
If you would like to. I wouldn't be so tired if you hadn't come back so late. Are you out carousing for boys or something?
Perish the thought. You can roll instant if you want. All the while, she's making small talk on you seem hurt, you look like you were caught on fire, making small jokes here and there. Eventually helps you to your room. 12. Perish the thought. You're not really sure. Could be. Could not be. But she eventually gets you to your sleeping quarters. She calls for 2 guards, to get the most of the armor, but obviously you don't remove everything. They clean it with magic. Some do it by hand. They draw a bath for you, and she does state, well, I'll be on the other side of the hallway. If you need anything, just let me know. And she more or less gets close and does state, brother, try not to get exploded again. It'd be very problematic if I become queen by accident.
It would be an interesting
Unexpectedly.
habit. It would be an interesting habit for me to pick up on.
Yes.
Only a madman would light themselves on fire willingly.
Quite true.
My next character.
She begins she begins to head out. While you potentially the guards are stationed outside of your room. An attendant is there if you need them. But if you don't want them, they're outside the door. You wash yourself, you make yourself clean, or the attendant does, and then you hit the hay. People do. Go ahead.
I'm gonna take my mask off and look at myself and see if anything has changed since the blessings.
You present your face to a mirror, a hand mirror that's by your bed table, and you can tell that when you look at the scarred side, it is reminding you of your endeavors, everything that's happened and everything that you have to show for it. On that side, nothing has changed. You still have your emotional stances, you still have the things you intend to do, but when you look at, I believe it was your right side, the almost imperfect face, you feel nothing when you look at that side. You feel no true emotion other than, it's not satisfaction, that's not the proper word, it's more like the best way I can describe it is melancholy. Not really driven or driven towards anything, just there. No real connection whatsoever. It is a stunning face to look at. It's not scarred, it's not weathered and worn due to disease or an incurable rotting flesh. It has no true flaws. It has no true drive behind it. The more you look at it, the more you feel melancholy. It feels as if you could do nothing and that'd be fine. You can just let time pass. Eventually, you do move away from the mirror and that side, or you don't. It's entirely up to you. But the more you look at it, the more you feel like not wanting to do anything. You do still have those blessings. That is true. You have yet to act upon the nature one, but overall, you've done well with them. But what you and what Thane does, maybe robbing the place, Apani enjoying a nice drink, and Yoko just resting, we'll figure out what you do in your downtime next time as we end the session for today.